Hello, hello. This is the Team Shine Bright call, Shine Bright team call. Wow. So there's that. Anyways, this is the Shine Bright team call, and it is Wednesday. I keep wanting to say it's Monday. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's Wednesday, September 12th, 2018. Okay, real talk though. So today's topic is social media with soul. I heard the most badass podcast. I'm pretty sure I dropped it in the team page, and I stole most of my content from there. So none of this is original, except for what you hear as a twist on my own words. Like, you'll know what's mine. Hey Becca, so happy you're here. Okay, so I'm gonna give you, here's the layout of the call. I'm gonna do a couple of really general things, then I'm gonna get more specific with Instagram stories, and Facebook, and we'll go from there. All right, cool. So I have tons of information. I'm gonna try not to talk too fast, but I also don't wanna keep you here forever. So the first thing that I want you to do is get really clear on who you are speaking to and what problem you're going to help them solve. Okay, so I could talk about, oh my gosh, I could talk about ideal client. This is an entirely, it's its own team call topic. And there's dozens of calls that you can look up on YouTube about your ideal client. And I can also lead one of those. But if you haven't revisited your ideal client recently, you need to do that. I'll walk you through an exercise. How about we do that next week? So you need to get really clear on who you're speaking to and what problem you're helping them solve. And all of your content needs to go towards them. You need to niche the fuck down, okay? We can't like be talking to everybody on our social media content, or we're not going to reach anybody. So like, for example, I got really, really specific and targeted just teachers. I have 25 people in my free group, and 3 of them are gonna buy challenge packs. They're all in my cold market. Like, all of them I had never talked to before this free group. So I just was like, teachers only, teachers only, teachers only, teachers only. And it worked. So, and here's the problem I helped them solve. The free group was focused around teacher hacks. So like literally solving the issues that teachers go through. Okay, so you and your social media content need to get very specific, even more specific than that. That's like pretty general because I wanted to give a lot of information, but you need to get really, really specific about what problems you intend to solve when somebody buys your product or joins your team or something like that, and who that person is, what they look like, all of those things. I could go on and on. I'm forcing myself to move on, but that's what your posts need to speak to, is that person. Okay, the goal is to get the right eyes and ears on your content to hear your message. It's not about the number of ears or eyes that you have on your stuff. Yes, numbers are good. Yes, your statistics are going to be better if you have high numbers. But if you have 1,000 followers and 500 of them aren't true accounts, or 500 of them are businesses, that's not going to do you any freaking good. Okay, so make sure that you are targeting the people, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute on how to do that, that are your ideal client. It is truly about quality over quantity. It is the kind of person that is looking at your content. It is not those, fake accounts like for follows or whatever. I don't even listen. That's all garbage to me. I don't even acknowledge it. So, there it is. So how do we find the right eyes and ears? That is really, really important. So something Sam and I have been incorporating in our morning, our morning power half hours, is these kind of hashtag engagement sprints. So what I've been trying, because for a while I was going and just following people that I thought were like me, follow. I could do like 105 minutes. And then on Sundays, unfollow everyone that didn't follow me back. Well, what I saw was that I got to like a certain number of followers and I couldn't maintain it because everyone was unfollowing me in turn. So what I did is I said, okay, quality over quantity. How do I do that? And this podcast that I listen to, she's doing engagement sprints with hashtags. So here's what these look like. I set a timer for 5 or 6 minutes, depending on how much time I have. And I go on my Instagram and I search a very specific hashtag, like Sunday brunch day. I don't want to just do brunch. I'm going to get a bunch of restaurants like that. Want to do something that my girl would say. My girl would say Sunday brunch day because that's adorable. Okay, so I go to hashtag Sunday brunch day. I don't go to most popular or top posts. I go to most recent posts, and I go and click on that person's photo, make sure it's a real person. I take the time to do all of this. I can usually only get like 6 or 7 done in those 5 or 6 minutes. It takes a little bit more time, but I am finding way more quality followers and more people to engage with, and I'm getting a lot more interaction. So I go and I follow that person, and then I don't like and comment. I only comment. I don't want to follow, like, and comment. I think that screams stalker. That screams I want your money. So I just follow and comment. I comment on that photo of brunch or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just do that, and I write their names down just for my own accountability. I don't usually go back and visit that. I just comment on stuff that I see in my news feed. Throughout the day. Commenting on my newsfeed is not part of my power hour. It probably should be, but at this point, I'm only blocking out half an hour of time and then working throughout the day. So those hashtag engagement sprints. So like Sunday brunch day, Black Cat Mama, those kinds of things are what I've been using. I would not search things like sweaty selfie. Like, you're going to get a bunch of coaches. Don't do that. Use the things outside of coaching that speak to you, that you know, like, what does your girl do? Does she go to brunch? Does she is she at the farmer's market? Is she doing goat yoga? Is she like super hyper organized, so like hashtag planner freak or something like that? All of those things are things that you can search for. Okay, so go and find those people, interact on their posts, genuinely follow them, and then make sure you continue to interact as they post, watch their stories, comment on their stories, that sort of thing. The whole reason we have to do this is because we can't launch, like, I've definitely been in this situation up until very recently. We can't launch our boot camps to the same 20 people over and over and over again. They're getting bored of your message. If they haven't joined you now, they still need more time, or they're never going to join you, and that's okay. We won't think that. Like, we're going to assume they're always going to join us at some point, but the truth is they may never be ready for something like that. I have people that like and comment and watch all of my stuff, but won't respond to a single message that I send them. Super weird, right? So some people just aren't emotionally capable of that in this moment. So the point being is we have to launch to a new market every single time, and our old market will still be there. They're not going anywhere. Okay. So just make sure that these hashtag engagement sprints that we're doing is increasing our cold market and making them our warm market by engaging with them. And then, we have new people to launch to. And that's really what we're after, because if you're hearing crickets, it's probably because you haven't expanded your audience very much. Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result is literally the definition of insanity. So do not do that. Make sure you're doing something different. And all of this to say that not to burn yourself out trying to do it right. There's literally no prescription for social media. There's no prescription. There's no right way to do it. It's all about what your audience responds to. And social media is constantly changing. So what works now may not work in a month from now. What works now definitely didn't work a month ago. Okay. I remember there was a time where everyone was saying, oh, we'll post 2 or 3 times a day on Instagram. That's not even, that's not how it works anymore. Okay. So, and we'll get to that in just a second, but just try different things, try them for an extended period of time. And if they're working, great. Keep doing it until they don't work anymore. Like I said, I was doing that follow, unfollow thing, and it was working really well. And I grew a couple hundred followers, and then it stopped working. So I had to shift my focus and shift my energy. Okay. And that's okay. They're like, it's almost like social media is like our immune system. Like once it becomes immune to something, it's like, nope, next thing. So let's talk Instagram, like just Instagram, your feed, like just your profile feed. Okay. You need to show up strong and excited about what you have to share. If your post is like, I'm trying to think of a good one. Like, if I post something and I'm like, Happy National Cat Day, like, okay, that's fucking cute and all, but like, did I add value to your life? Was I excited about something? That did I incite an emotion, or were you just like, that's a nice lady and her cat? Like, that doesn't incite interaction or engagement. We want our posts to translate to something, a like, a comment, a question. It needs to add value, or it needs to evoke emotion, or it needs to evoke thought. It has to do something. I'm not saying every post has to be like this like soul ripping. Like, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that it has to either add value, or it has to be a call to action, or it has to evoke emotion of some sort. It's got to do something. It can't just be like, long day at school today. No one's going to comment on that unless they're like, oh my God, me too, I hate my life. And you're just going to attract negative energy. Okay. So like, make sure that when you are posting, you show up really strong and really excited. You only need one quality post a day. That's it. Or you can even post just 3 to 5 times a week on your Instagram. You don't even have to post once a day. 3 to 5 times a week of super high quality posts. High quality posts. That's the key. Not just like hot selfie. Like, that does nothing for me. Okay. It has to add value. Like, I love what Sam posted the other day. She posted a picture of us doing our power hour, and she wasn't just like, haha, teen time. Like, what the fuck would that do for anybody? Nobody understands that. She posted like, oh, I found community and it's so easy to work my business. So she just did a little like coaching breadcrumb. That's so easy, and that adds value, and that it adds value because somebody can go, oh, well, I can do that, or it gives information. Okay. And yes, so make sure your stuff is super high quality, and then you only need to post 3 to 5 times a week. It's not even hard. Super not hard. Instagram stories. Okay. If you are serious about working your business, Instagram stories is not optional. If you are serious about working your business, Instagram stories is your motherfucking best friend ever, because it is free advertising. It is you get so much more. You just get so much from Instagram stories. It's like Snapchat on Instagram. So like, it's literally Snapchat for your cold market. It is so cool. Okay. So show up. Like, you can't just post your workout. You can't just post your shake in your Instagram stories. People want to see you unfiltered. They want to see your messy life. They want to see your dog. They want to see those things. Like, Sam goes on these teacher rants, and it's fucking hilarious. And I love it. You cannot just be like, workout done, and that's all you post. Like, no, that's not what Instagram stories is for. Instagram stories is to tell a story. So talk about your life. That's why people are on there. They want to stalk you. Okay? So show up. You need to be posting at least 7 or 8 times a day on your Instagram stories. It is not hard. Like, I can literally be in my car and be driving and be like, oh my God, I was so late to work this morning. Haha, I'm going to be there like 5 minutes late, but it's totally fine because I got to read my personal development book this morning and it was talking about blah, 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 and then done. And then I can post something motivational when I get to work. And then like at lunch, I can take a picture of my lunch and post what it is on my stories. Then after school, I can be like, oh my gosh, school was so hard today, you guys. Like, I could just snap a kid in half right now. And people think it's hilarious. Okay? It doesn't take any effort to put 8 stories up a day. I personally can't have my phone like on me or around me at school. So the only time I post during the school day is at lunch. And I still get at least a dozen stories up a day. Okay, you can do it, and you can have your content preloaded, ready to go. You don't have to like always make a new video. You can, you know, screenshot something you like, post it on your Instagram stories. No big deal. Okay, but the whole point of Instagram stories is to increase your engagement. So make sure you're using those engagement features, the polls, and don't just be like, "Do you want more details on my boot camp? Yes or no?" No, like one of the best things I ever did for my Instagram stories was a more or less exercise. So I was like, food, more or less. Do you want to see workouts, more or less? Funny marriage things, more or less. Those kinds of things. I just did like 6 in a row, and I got more votes on that than I ever have on anything else ever. So use those engagement features, use the slider, use the poll, use hashtags, use, I'm really bad about this, I wanna get better at it. Use the location, the geotagging feature. You don't have to tag where you are. You can tag like another city or something like that. So make sure that you're using those features so that people can be more interactive, because that is the entire point of stories, is to be interactive. It's to incite it. Basically, IG stories is to get people to message you instead of you messaging people. I got sassy and started to lose my voice. Okay, so you also want to sequence your stories, okay? One of like my biggest pet peeve watching people's Instagram stories is like, it's a picture of their breakfast, and then it's like their 5-year-old running around, and then it's like their dog, and then it's like a picture of a book. That did not tell a story. I don't know what that was. That was just like a random ass snapshot of your life. People want to follow your life. They want to see your story. So, not to toot my own horn, but I do this pretty well. So if you can watch my stories and kind of imitate what I'm doing, that's good. Andrea does a really good job. Joelle does a really good job of telling stories. So if you, I'm not saying like go follow a ton of coaches and do what they do. I'm saying go figure out what successful coaches are doing and then create your own version of it by sequencing your stories. So like, for example, at the beginning of the day, sometimes I'll share like a snippet from my personal development book. And then later in the day, I'll talk about it. And then later that night, I'll talk about how it changed, how it affected my day or whatever. Does that make sense? You could do things like that. They want to see stories, or like they want to hear your personal stories too. So, you know, I'll talk about my dog or whatever. I'll talk about my husband, and I'll tell the ridiculous stories of how we got into a fight about food. I don't know, whatever. So make sure that that you're telling stories, and you don't have to be perfect. Like, I look like this on my Instagram stories. Look how broken out I am. Like, nobody cares. Chalene Johnson filmed the #1 infomercial in the world for Pio on her iPhone like this. That's it. It doesn't have to, you don't have to like set it up and like wait for, like, it can be fucking messy. That's the beauty of Instagram stories, is it can be messy, and that's why it's so easy to get your 8 to 10 or 12 whatever stories up per day. I could go on and on and on about Instagram stories, but I absolutely cannot stress to you how important they are enough. I absolutely cannot. However important you think they are, they're like 10 times more important than that. If you show up on Instagram stories consistently, sharing value, sharing your life, sharing stories, and then sharing a little bit of opportunity, if you give, offer, you're going to have so much success on your Instagram stories. So like I said, you just want to give as much as possible. And I'm going to go into that in a second. Real quick, on your Instagram, so you have, well, first, let's talk business versus personal profile. You know what I'm talking about? Business versus personal. So I had a business profile for a long time because I was utilizing the insights, and I think they're valuable. However, it seems that at this point in time, Instagram is actually favoring personal accounts. Here's the reason behind that. I learned this from Angie Lee. If you don't follow Angie Lee, you totally should, because she's a badass and she's super funny. But anyhow, she was saying that Instagram is owned by Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg is a money-hungry freak, okay? So if you have a business account on Instagram, he's going to assume that you have money to pay for ads, and that's how you're going to get your stuff featured. So you're less likely to be featured due to popularity on Instagram because they're waiting for you to promote your stuff. Whereas if you have a personal account, they're not assuming you're a business, and therefore your stuff is more likely to be featured because they're not waiting for you to pay to promote. Okay, so I just switched back to a personal page, and that's a cool thing. You can toggle back and forth between the two. It doesn't really make a difference. So it's totally up to you. But I switched back to a personal page. I'm just going to see how that does for me over the next couple of weeks. And if I change back, I'll change back. It's no big deal. So your name, your Instagram handle should be different from the bolded tagline underneath it. So for example, my handle is like Mrs. Hannah Walker. Okay. The tagline, the bold part underneath it, is searchable on Instagram. So it should say something about the business that you are running. If you wanted to attract your ideal client and she is searching for weight loss or something like that, you want her to be able to search that and your profile come up. So like mine says Hannah / health and happy coach. Because that's what I call myself, a health and a happiness coach. So like if someone were to go in and search health coach, my name would pop up because it's in the tagline. Okay, so that is searchable. Now it will come up. So like, for example, if you're a New York City Pilates instructor, you would put your Instagram handle like Samantha Mathis, and then your tagline would be New York City Pilates instructor. Make sense? Okay, they should be different. The tagline should be descriptive of the jobs or services that you offer. As far as your bio goes, it's really cute when people are like, cat lover, fitness fanatic, teacher. Like that's all great, but your profile is going to show your viewer those things. Like I'm going to have pictures of my dog and pictures of my husband and pictures of food and of me lifting weights or whatever. I don't have to put all of those things in my bio. What I do need to put in my bio is what I do and who I'm looking for. So if you look at my bio, I'm just using mine as an example. I help busy 20-somethings build big dreams and their best bodies through small daily actions that feel good. Apply to work with me here. That's it. That's all I put. So simple. Okay. So that's what that should be, is like a description of the goods and services that you offer, not a description of yourself. They're going to get your personality through your stories and through your Facebook feed. Okay. Any questions about Instagram or Instagram stories? That was like a lot of information in any of those. Yes, Sam. Go.
Because I was trying to figure this out. How do you switch back to a personal? Can you do it on your phone, or does it have to be on the computer?
No, you can do it on your phone. So to switch back to a personal, go to your profile, go to
was it edit or the?
Yeah, try edit. Oh, actually tap the 3 lines in the top right hand corner. I think it's there. Go to settings.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I think that's where it is.
And then switch back to personal account. Got it.
There you go. Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, cool beans. Yes, ma'am. All right, so that's a lot of information. That could easily be the end of a team call. I'm going to give you just a couple more tidbits, okay? And if you like finish this team call and you're like, can you come audit my Instagram and like tell me what needs to be fixed? I'm happy to do that. I just need you to text me. Okay? So, one more thing. Facebook is not dead. Everyone's like, Facebook's dead. It's not fucking dead. Okay? Groups on Facebook is where it is at. Okay, so here's what I like to do on Facebook for groups, and I have 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk really fast. In groups, I like to give, ask. That's what I like to do. So groups are like these like private little hangouts where we can like talk about stuff and share things and like be like, I feel like people get so fucking real in groups on Facebook, and it's so cool, and you should take advantage of that. So groups need to be like your little hideout / playground. So you need to like contribute as much as you possibly can. I would set a timer and go into your groups on Facebook and give. And then on the offer days, after you've given for several weeks, you can create an offer. I did the same. I did that with my other side business that Jet and I are running, and I gave a free video, and I gave free advice, and I gave a free testimony, and then I asked for something, and I got 3 new clients. So that's in a group of like 200. So that was pretty cool. So you guys just give on Facebook, and that's the same thing that you can do on your personal page. You can just like give a fucking recipe, give a motivational speech, and then every once in a while ask for something. But nobody's ever gonna buy from you on Facebook, which by the way is your warm market that most of us have not utilized yet. All of us are like so fucking scared of Facebook. Stop being scared of Facebook. Okay? Your principal's not going to go stalk you and fire you because you posted a selfie on Facebook. That's just not going to happen. Okay? So do use your Facebook. You only have to post, like, I usually post once a day on Facebook, but you really only have to post like 2 or 3 times a week for it to be effective. Okay? So if you're like, oh my God, I'm like my cold market, I'm having a hard time, like, think about it. Have you used your warm market on Facebook yet? Because I don't think most of us have. I think most of us are like, I don't want to post on Facebook about my MLM business. Like, fuck it. If you give, ask, it's going to work. Okay? So stop freaking out. Be the same person you are on Facebook as you are on Instagram. Your people will get you. And if they don't, they're not your people. Okay? So 2 big takeaways from tonight's call. Number 1, give way more than you ask. Give, and then ask. Give information. Give recipes, give workouts, give ideas, give motivation, give testimonies, give aways, give free stuff. Like a sample of Shakeology, you could do a giveaway of that. People go bonkers if they've never seen it before. Okay? You can even do that on Facebook with your warm market. Like, hey guys, I know I haven't talked about this stuff much, but truth is I'm pretty obsessed. I want to give one of these away. Comment with a GIF and I'll do a drawing or whatever. It doesn't matter. Give, and then ask. And if you give enough, you will receive. I absolutely promise. I absolutely promise. I went to church on Sunday, and I heard this really, really cool quote. And the pastor was talking about how the church was like $9 million in debt 2 years ago, and right now they're only $1.5 million in debt. They paid all of it down. And he was talking about how if you give what you do have to God or universe or spirit or whatever you want to believe, he will break it and give you more back. So if you give and give and give and give to your audience, they're going to give back to you. You're going to receive way more than you gave. Okay, so I found that to be true in so many aspects of my life, and I have to remember to continue to give, to lead with an open hand, not a closed fist. You know, I have to let go of those things. I can't be afraid to coach for free. I can't be afraid to give content and value and to share the nuggets, you know. And I found that in my own like financial giving, the more Jet and I give when we're reluctant to, the more we make, the more money we bring in. Okay. Yes. And Sam's like, hey. So we really have found that to be true. And it was really scary going into this next season with him and going, okay, we only bring home $2,600 a month. 260 of that is leaving us immediately. It's going to giving. It's going somewhere. We don't know where, but it's going somewhere to giving. And for that reason, we will receive so much more than that because we are so willing to give. You have to be so willing to give on social media, you guys. Just give as much as you can, and then you can ask and you're going to receive so much. But in order to give, you have to show up. You have to show up. You can't disappear for 4 days. You can't go off the rails and not say anything. Okay, our job is to share and to give, and in order to share and to give, you have to be present. You cannot expect your audience to trust you, believe you, or know you if you don't show up. I'm not saying that you have to be glued to your phone. I'm absolutely 100% not saying that. That doesn't feel good. That's not going to leave anybody with any positive energy. But I am saying that you have to show up. Take the 30 seconds to put something on your Instagram stories. Take the 5 minutes to write out an incredibly, if you don't have 5 minutes 3 times a week, there's something wrong with your life. Okay? I have 5 minutes when I sit on the toilet to take a poop. Okay? I've said that before, but real talk. You have the time. You have to make the time. You have the energy. You have to give the energy. If you want to receive energy and money, you have to give your energy and your time. Okay? So show up and stop being scared. You're not going to screw it up. My boss is telling me, I keep telling him, I'm like, I'm ruining my flute players. I'm going to mess them up. I'm going to break them. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, you can't break them. You can't ruin them. They're fine. It's fine. Same thing with social media. The only thing that's going to ruin you on social media is expecting to receive something when you're not even willing to show up regularly. Okay. So, that's all I have for you tonight. And if you have questions or comments or concerns, or you want to tell me I'm a crazy bitch, you can just drop it in the team page. All right. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.